It's for posterity, so make sure everyone, smiles here on camera. But good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Today's community workshop is covering technical schools and community colleges. We have two wonderful representatives with us here today. One is from Manatee Technical College and the other from the State College of Florida. Of course, none of this would be possible without the continued support of the wonderful Charles and Marjorie Barancik Foundation. Their support makes so much of what we do possible, and we cannot thank them enough. Before we begin, I'd like to say that we do offer interpretation in Spanish. I will read the instructions on how to get there first in English, and then I will read them in Spanish. So to access Spanish interpretation, you're going to click more on the lower right or upper right-hand corner of your screen. Then you're going to click language interpretation. Then you're going to click Spanish and mute original audio. Para acceder a la interpretación en español, haga clic en más en la esquina inferior derecha o superior derecha de su pantalla. Luego haga clic en interpretación de idiomas. Luego haga clic en español y en silenciar audio original. So before we begin, I'd like to talk a little bit more about who we are at Unidos Now. Our mission is to elevate the quality of life of the Latino and Hispanic community through education, integration, and civic engagement. And we do this through a variety of programs that we offer. We have high school clubs. Our flagship program, and probably one of our most well-known programs, would be our Future Leaders Academy. We also have Flag and Flums for elementary and middle school students. We have our FAFSA workshops, our parent leadership program, and community workshops like this one. And today, before we begin, I would just want to give a quick overview of what we'll be discussing for this community workshop. So one option you have after high school is technical college or vocational college, such as MTC or Suncoast Technical College, where you can get a technical diploma in 1 year or less. And the requirements for this college to go to technical school is simply just a high school diploma. You don't need to take an SAT, ACT, you just need a high school diploma or a GED equivalent. Another option is to go to community college, such as the State College of Florida. And typically they offer 2-year programs, but they do offer some 4-year degrees as well. And the 2-year degrees that they offer are the Associate of Science degree or the AS degree, and then an Associate of Arts degree. And an Associates of Science degree prepares you for a more specialized work program. It's highly specific towards a certain field, such as nursing or mechanical engineering. And then an Associate of Arts degree doesn't really have to do with art, but it is simply just taking the prerequisite courses that you would need to go on to a 4-year college. And all you simply need is a high school diploma or a GED equivalent. You don't have to have an ACT or an SAT test. So today we're going to be learning from Liz Lux, who is a specialist of recruitment and new student outreach at SCF. And then we're also going to be hearing from Terri Parrish, who's a college counselor at Manatee Technical College. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so Ms. Lux can start sharing hers.
Awesome. Thank you so much and welcome everyone. I do agree. I hope everyone is staying warm this morning. It's a little cold here for Florida. I moved here originally from New Jersey to get away from the cold, but it seems like sometimes it follows me here. So I'm going to go ahead and hopefully you can see my presentation here. So I'm going to talk all about SCF today. Just kind of, hopefully I'll touch on everything that you have, but if you do have any questions at the end of the presentation or during the presentation, feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat and hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you at the end. But at SCF, I am a new student specialist. So I help students from the time they are just thinking of SCF as a possible option for college and maybe just have some questions all the way to their first day as a freshman at SCF. So I can help with any kind of questions you have through the admissions process. And I always tell my students, feel free that any question you have, you can ask me. I may not always know the answer to your question. I get asked a lot of questions weekly that I may not know the answer to, but I'll go ahead and hopefully find out that answer for you or get you in contact with the correct person. So we'll start with a little bit about the State College of Florida. So we do have small class sizes. They usually average around 25 students per professor. So you're not going to be in,
por
a large
clase.
hall like some of the bigger
No es
universities that
un
is, a couple hundred
espacio
students
grande
per
con
class.
muchos
So you
estudiantes.
get to know your classmates and you also get to know your professors, which is nice. It's easy to transfer, especially with our AA degree, which I'll talk about a little more. But all of our credits will seamlessly transfer to any Florida public college or public university. But we also have career ready programs with our AS degree. So they're more specialized, they're workforce, so that you can come to SCF, earn this degree, and go right out to work. We have a lot of support services available to our students, which I'll talk about because we want you to be successful students while you're here with us at SCF. So we have lots of things available to you to help make that possible. And we're also affordable. So we are about half the cost of a state university. And I'll show you some comparisons towards the end. So it's nice, you can kind of stay close to home, have a small class size, not worry about your credits not transferring over. There will be a seamless transfer and you can save some money in the process. So the first thing that a lot of people do not sometimes know about SCF is that we have multiple locations. So our main campus, which most people know, is our Bradenton campus. So I always tell students, this is going to be more of your traditional college type feel. So more hustle and bustle, lots of things going on, lots of ways to get involved. There are clubs. Our athletic department is out of our Bradenton campus, as well as our music and theater department. So if you're interested in any of those, that is the campus you would like to go to. But it's just more of that hustle and bustle, traditional college feel. But we also have our second campus is in Venice. It's closer to the Northport area, so it's about an hour south of our Bradenton campus. But Venice has a completely different vibe than Bradenton. It is a lot more laid back and relaxed. There's still students there taking classes, still ways to get involved, but it's just a little quieter and more of a laid back feel than Bradenton. They have, you can see kind of in the picture here, there's this wonderful lake. People walk around it. There's alligators in the lake. So I think I've seen some of them a little too close for my comfort, but it's just like a nature preserve out there. It's beautiful. It's quiet. They have a spot on campus with hammocks where students will go ahead and just lay in the hammocks, take a break. Maybe they're, studying or taking a nap in between classes. So just a completely different vibe than our Bradenton campus. We also have our third campus, which is our Lakewood Ranch campus. It is our smallest. It is just 2 buildings. But the nice thing is if you're interested in the health sciences at all, specifically nursing, our Lakewood Ranch campus, one of the buildings, the second floor houses our simulation center. So it is set up just like a hospital. So it has a hospital-sized elevator to get up to the second floor there. It has the nurses station right in the middle, and then all the hospital rooms are around it. So it's really cool. So this is where the nursing students can go and they work on those simulators before they work on real life patients. But Lakewood Ranch, you can also take general classes out there too. English, math, science, history classes. And it's going to be a much quieter campus since it's only 2 buildings. So some students are looking for a quieter type feel of a campus. We also have online classes. So we have a few options for online classes. There's more of what I like to call the traditional online, which is no set days or times you need to be logged in. There's going to be days when things are due, but you can kind of do them on your own pace. We also have something called SCF live classes, which is kind of like a Zoom class. There's certain days and times every week that you have to be logged in and you're watching your professor teach virtually. But my favorite part of being an SCF student is that you can go to any of our campuses and you can also what I like to call a mix and match. So if you want to take one class in Bradenton, you want to try a second class out at Lakewood Ranch, and you want to try a third class online all in the same semester, you can do that. So it doesn't matter which campus that you apply to, you can kind of go to any of those. So I think we have maybe a polling question. That would be, which campus which SCF campus sounds like your best fit? So if it's Bradenton, Venice, Lakewood Ranch, online, or a combination. So each one, like I said, has its own kind of feel to it. And some students, prefer a certain campus, and others, like I said, like to go ahead and mix and match as well. All right, so I'll talk a little bit more about degrees now. Our Associate in Arts degree, or AA degree, is what we refer to as our transfer track. What I mean by that is that with an AA, you're coming to SCF usually your first 2 years of college, taking all your general classes, and then transferring on to a university to complete your bachelor's degree. It's also called the 2+2 route here in Florida. So it's nice because, like I said earlier, the credits or the classes that you're taking at SCF will transfer on to a Florida public college or university, because all of our classes here in the state of Florida are numbered the same, which is awesome. And like Alex was saying earlier, an associate in arts degree does not mean you have to be going into art. If you're looking to go into engineering, pre-med, pre-law, anything where you're looking at going off to a university to earn your bachelor's degree, you would go ahead and get started with the AA degree. Now, we also have, though, the Associate in Science degree, or the AS degree. We refer to this degree as our career track, meaning you come to SCF, you earn this degree. If you're going full time, it usually takes between 2 and 3 years, depending on which degree you choose, which program. But once you graduate from SCF with an AS degree, you're going right out into the workforce for wherever workforce area you've chosen. So we have about 30 AS degrees right now. They're in so many different things. We have them in accounting, business, entrepreneurship, criminal justice, fire science. We have them in the arts, so graphic design, digital cinema, photography, studio art. We also have some in the health sciences. So I mentioned nursing. We also have dental hygiene, radiography, occupational therapy assisting, and physical therapy assisting. So there's lots of different things for you depending on what it is that you're looking for a career track. And then also we do have certificate programs as well. So certificates, our certificates, most of them are built into an associate in science degree so that you can earn a certificate. And then if you wanted to continue on with the AS degree, you could, or you could just do the certificate on its own. So that's part of our certificates are part of that rapid credentialing that you have seen out there recently. So we do have a lot of certificates as well that are going to be usually, I'd say, about 2 semesters, so about a year. It just depends on the certificate, how many classes it has. But then those are also built into those AS degrees as well. So if you wanted to later on, it could go into an associate in science degree too. We also have 5 bachelor's degrees. So if you are looking at, trying to stay local, we have 5 of them. Since we are a state college, we can't offer a lot of bachelor's degrees, but we can offer 5. So I always say our most popular is our nursing bachelor's degree. But students, if they're looking for a bachelor's, they always start an associate's degree first with us. We also have a few different semesters. So we have fall, spring, and summer classes. We also have what are called flex start classes. And what those are is that it allows students to take classes within the semester that may be a little shorter. So for instance, our spring semester started in January, our full semester. But we have our last set of flex start classes that start March 15th. So it's still the same amount of work as a full semester class, just in half the amount of time. So it allows students who maybe miss the deadline to start right away at the full semester. They're able to go ahead and start halfway through the semester as well. So they don't have to wait till summer or next fall to start. They can still get started in one of those flex start classes. All right. I think I have another polling question. It would be, which degree would you like to earn now looking at SCF? So then a degree, an AS degree, bachelor's degree, or are you undecided? Totally okay if you're undecided. I always tell students, I thought I knew what I wanted to do when I got back in college, but I changed my mind a few times. So it's totally okay if you are still undecided as well.
Liz, we have a question.
Of course.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Juanita wants to know, what type of certificate degrees do you offer at SCF?
So our certificates, there's so many of them. They're all directly related to our associate in science degree. So it kind of be more depending on what your area of interest is. And I could, like, we have like for graphic design, for example, there's two different certificates for graphic design. There's graphic design support, but then there's also graphic and web design. Then we have some that are engineering based. We have some that are going to be more business based. So it just really depends on exactly what you're looking for, what your area of interest is. On our website, though, in our catalog, you can see the entire list of them because they are very numerous. We have about 30 AS degrees, but we have way more certificates since within those AS degrees, there can be multiple certificates tied to them. So I always tell students to kind of look at that. And if you have a certain area of interest, I can definitely let you know more about that particular area. But even some of them, like I mentioned, like graphic design has two certificates that you can get within there. There's Homeland Security. There's a few different computer ones. So really just depending on what you're interested in, there would most likely be some type of certificate that we offer that you could go ahead and study. All right. So I'll go ahead and let's see here. So I mentioned earlier about the support services. So we do have, like I said, we want you to be successful students. So we have these support services available to you. So our Academic Resource Center houses our tutoring and learning center. So I always tell students, this is where you want to go on campus. They are there to help you. Don't wait till you're failing a class to go there. They can help you. They have, help with English. They have help with math tutoring, science. They also have foreign language tutoring. So it's really nice because one of the nice things that came out of this COVID situation is that they have virtual tutoring now too. So you don't even have to come to campus to use the Academic Resource Center and use the tutoring services available to you. You can pop in and do virtual tutoring as well, which is nice for students. But it's there, and I always tell students, you want to use it. That is what it is there for. We have our Disability Resource Center as well, or the DRC. If you have an IEP or a 504 plan, this does carry over into college. A lot of students sometimes think that it stops at high school, but it does carry on over. So you can meet with them and they'll help you with, how to request your accommodations from your professors for your classes. We also have college and career planning. They're like your guidance counselor type. If anything, I can kind of make it most similar to. They'll make sure that you're taking the right classes that you need, make sure that you're on track with what your goals are. They'll also help too if you're looking at trying to find what you'd like to do for a career. They have lots of tests you can take for free that kind of help you figure out what it is that you'd like to do as far as a career. We also have veteran services if you are using yourself or your dependent benefits. They will help with all that entails of making sure you have all the documents in and making sure if you do have credit, from the military, they'll help with that as well. And then our library is one of my favorite places on campus because it's not just books. They have computers you can use, printers. The librarians are the greatest resource. I tell students you're going to write a lot of research papers in college, so they know what the professors are looking for. They'll help you find those good sources for your paper and just help make sure that you're citing everything correctly. And then they have books for fun if you like to read for fun. They also rent out or loan out cell phone chargers, iPads, calculators for math class, umbrellas when it's raining, which is one of my favorites because in Florida, you never know when it might just start raining. So you can have those available. But all of these support services are in place because we want you to be successful students. So we want to make sure that all of these things are available at your fingertips. So, student life, a lot of times people think of SCF as a small local college and they think there's nothing fun to do there. It's just take your classes and go home. But I always tell students that's not the truth. We do have lots of things that you can do here at SCF. So, there's lots of clubs that you can join. So, these are just some of them on the screen. Every semester, they kind of change of what people are interested in that semester. Some have to do with your, what you're going on to. You'll see the Student American Dental Hygienist, Physical Therapy Assistant clubs, but then there's fun things too. Cheer and Dance Club, Brain Bowl, Pop Culture Club. So lots of things depending on whether it's more academic based or just interest based. We also have athletics. Like I mentioned, they're out of our Bradenton campus. We have 6 athletic teams. So baseball, men's basketball, softball, women's tennis, women's volleyball, and most recently we have women's beach volleyball as well. We are Division 1 of the state college system. So not of the university system, but of the state college system. But I always tell students, if you're interested in a particular sport, let me know and I can get you in direct contact with the coach for that sport to kind of find out what those options are for you. We also have an amazing visual and performing arts department. They have for studio art, if you're interested. It's amazing arts program. I just took some students through there this week. You get to see the students' artwork on the walls. Then our music and theater department is amazing too. They give away scholarships every year. You go and audition. It's usually April every year, and you audition. And if they have a part for you in any of their ensembles, they will offer that to you, usually along with a music scholarship. The best part is that you don't have to be majoring in music or theater to get the scholarship. So you could be majoring in, maybe you're thinking pre-law, pre-med, you want to study science, you want to go for nursing. You can still partake in the music and theater program, which is awesome. So I love that that's available to students. So before my next slide, I think I have another polling question, and this is just to kind of see what you may think for SCF. And it's about how much do you think it costs for 1 year at the State College of Florida? Do you think it's around $6,000 for 1 year, $1,000 for 1 year, $10,000 for 1 year, or $3,000? So let's see, what do you think about how much it would SCF be for about a year at SCF? So sometimes this is shocking for students. So we'll show you on the next couple slides. I'll show you exactly what it costs. So we know that once we get to college, even public colleges, you have to pay for them, right? It costs money. Tuition costs money. So we are lower tuition and fees. Like I mentioned, it's about half the cost of a university. Most colleges will do their tuition by the credit hour. So for an in-state student, it is $102.48 per credit. What does that even mean? So it means that a 3-credit class is about $300, which is what most classes are 3 credits. A way that you save at SCF is, if you haven't been on any of our campuses, we do not have any dorms. So you're not paying room and board or any meal plans. So you kind of get to save the cost on that, which is nice. There's lots of ways to help pay for school. There's payment plans if you need to break it up into smaller monthly payments. We offer those. The FAFSA, and I know Unidos Now does so many amazing FAFSA events in the community. So hopefully, if you are a senior or you're thinking about coming to school, hopefully you have filled out that FAFSA. But it is, I always tell students, sometimes it's hard the first time, but luckily there's a lot of help for you. But the financial aid is a lot of our students will qualify for some type of financial aid. We also have scholarships available to students. Our scholarships right now through the SCF Foundation are currently open. They will close April 15th, and that is for all of next year, so the 21-22 school year. You have to have applied and been accepted to SCF in order to apply to our scholarships. But it's great for students because it's just one application with a 500-word essay, but we have hundreds of scholarships. So it just depends on how you answer the questions to see which scholarships you qualify for, and we put you in the running for those. But our foundation last year gave out over $1.7 million in scholarship money to SCF students. So I'd always tell students the money is there. You just have to do your part of filling out that application and essay and getting it submitted in time. All right, so I'm going to show you now what is the cost of SCF. So on average for 1 year full time, so about 30 credits, which is half of an AA degree. So one full year at SCF is about $3,000. So it's $3,074 for tuition and fees. You'll see in the middle, we do have the state university system. And again, they're about double our cost, about $6,000 to $6,600. That doesn't include living on campus. So just make sure you remember that. I always tell students that costs an additional, that this is just the cost for tuition and fees. And then private schools like a Phoenix or a Kaiser, they're going to cost a lot more because they are a private school. But this is why a lot of students will start at SCF the first 2 years. So if you see, you're taking the same classes you would at the university, but you're paying half the cost. You're having a smaller class size, and then students still with that AA degree get the chance to go on and transfer to a university to get that university experience, but they get to save some money those first 2 years. Also, when you fill out the FAFSA, if you have already and you saw on your student aid report or your SAR how much they're saying that you would qualify for the Pell Grant. This past year, the Pell Grant, I believe, was about $6,000. I think it went up a little bit and maybe about $6,300 for the year. So if you're a full-time student, that covers the entire cost of tuition and fees at SCF since we're only $3,000 a year. And you have money left over to help pay for books and supplies. And then a lot of times students will still get money refunded to them. So I tell students, if you are going to receive either the full Pell Grant or partial Pell Grant, your money a lot of times can go a lot further if you're starting at SCF and then transferring on to a university. All right, just to recap some of the things I've talked about this morning. So why SCF? So it has small class sizes. It's affordable. I always tell students it's close to home if you want to be, but you have all those campus locations, so you can get a little further from home if you're wanting to. So if you live in the Bradenton area, but you want to maybe get a little further away from home, you could always go take classes down in Venice. Our Venice campus, like I said, it's a completely different world down there. So it's close to home if you want to be, but you can get further away if you'd like. There's lots of support services for you. We have lots of flexible options with those Flex Start classes. We have the AA, which makes it easy to transfer for you over to, a university, or we have those career ready programs with the AS degrees. There's also with MTC, when you take some of their programs, we have an articulation agreement where those credits that you took at MTC can then come over to SCF in an AS degree, which is awesome for students too. So I always like students to know that they could go to MTC first and then come to SCF. And a lot of times you already have credit for an AS program, which is amazing. And then one thing I'll end on for this part is we are an open admissions college, meaning the only thing we require of you to be accepted is that you have or you're going to earn your high school diploma or GED. So we don't look at GPAs, we don't look at test scores for acceptance. We're not making you write an admissions essay, anything like that. You fill out our application. It takes about 20-25 minutes or so to fill it out online. You submit and you usually get your acceptance in 24 to 48 hours, which is awesome. So the steps to apply are on this next screen. Like I said, it's an easy online application. If you do not hold a social security number, because I know this was a question that has been asked in the past, you would fill out a different application. It would not be our online application. It would be a paper application, and you can reach out directly to me and I can provide that to you and help you fill it out. So you can still apply to SCF. It's just a little bit of a different process. It's not through our online system, because you do have to fill in a social security number for that one to submit, but we do have the paper application that you can fill out, and then I can help you with those steps. If you've lived in Florida for at least a year, we would have you submit residency documents to prove that, so we can get you that nice in-state tuition. We will request we'll ask you to request your high school transcripts. If you are still currently in high school, we don't want them until you've graduated. We just want to see that graduation date. If you attended high school and or college outside of the country, so in a foreign country, if you want to be a degree seeking student, you will normally have to request those transcripts from that country and then have them translated. But again, I can help you with all that different process if that's the route you're looking to go. Although we do not require test scores for acceptance, if you did not attend a Florida public high school freshman and senior year, we would need test scores just to place you in the right math and English classes. That's all it is for. You'll already have been accepted by the time we ask for those test scores, so it's nothing to worry about. It's just for placement. If you've taken the ACT or SAT in the last 2 years, you can use those. Or most students will come to SCF and they can take what's called the PERT test, which is free with us. And I've heard it's a lot easier than the ACT or SAT, so that's available to you as well. But again, not for acceptance, it's just to see where's the best placement for you for math and English. Then you will attend orientation. We have them both an online version or in person. If you come in person, it is me who gives the orientations in Bradenton, so you'll see me again. And then we help you register for your classes if registration is open. Make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted before your first day at SCF, getting your tuition taken care of, making sure you're prepared with your ID, your parking decal, your books, and all of that information. So that is my part of the presentation. I know we did save some time in case there were questions, so I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen in case there's some questions there that maybe
Yes.
I can answer.
Thank you, Liz, so much. We do have a few questions. What are the opportunities for parents trying to get back to school?
Awesome. So our degrees and certificates and everything are all open to everyone, regardless of age. So parents can come back. Just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for more of a workforce degree, it'd be those associate in science degrees. Or maybe you want to start with a certificate program and just do a semester or two to earn that, and then maybe come back for an associate in science degree. You have the AA degree as well. I have a lot of parents that come back and start with their AA because they're planning on transferring on to a university after that. So they have all of the same options that their children or students would have.
And is there any types of financial aid that is available to parents coming back to school?
So with our scholarships, there's so many of them that the questions they ask on that scholarship application, I know there has to be one that says if you're a parent coming back to school. I've seen them in the past, so there is a lot of scholarships. So when you think of SCF, we're kind of all age ranges. It's not just high school seniors coming in as freshmen. We have senior citizens who are coming back, 70s and 80s coming back to school. So we're kind of all across the board. So with that, you would just want to fill out that SCF Foundation scholarship application. And I am sure there is a few probably in there for you if you're a parent coming back.
All right. And one more question. To apply, can non-residents or undocumented students apply? And if so, what kind of financial aid can you offer them?
Yep. So the way they would apply, so if they do not have the social security number, we would do a paper application. So you could reach out to me. I can send you the PDF over. If you need a printed copy and you can't make it to campus, you can let me know. I can mail it to you. You would fill that out. The only thing with in-state tuition is if you the way the state has it is that you cannot get in-state tuition if you are not a citizen or a permanent resident, but there is a tuition waiver. It's called a residency waiver that helps get you in-state tuition. I think if I remember correctly, you have to have graduated from high school in Florida within the last 24 months. And to applying to the college, and you have to had attended that high school for 3 years prior to that. So not your freshman year, but sophomore, junior, senior year, and then you have to apply to the college within 24 months of graduating, and then that will get you the in-state tuition. And then although I know with FAFSA that is not available to students, but there, like I said, the scholarship committee, there's $1.7 million in there. And so I know that it's, although I know sometimes it's hard to fill out the FAFSA and, we can't always get what we need from there, you're able to show your financial need in other ways. And I've helped students kind of work through that as well. So there is scholarship money there for you.
Great. And if anyone has any further questions, because we're going to have to move on to MTC at the moment.
I have one from Facebook real quick. It's a really quick question. Sorry to interrupt. A woman asked, my daughter does dual enrollment right now and wants to go into early childhood education. Does she have to reapply?
That is an amazing question. I'm glad someone asked it. So if your child or your student is currently at STF as a dual enrollment student, they do have to reapply as a college student. So they would go on our website, and instead of filling out the dual enrollment application, they fill out the general admissions application. They keep everything the same. They'll have the same student number, same username and password for their STF account. It's just that's how we're able to flip them in the system from a high school dual enrollment student to a now college student who will be degree seeking. So they would definitely want to reapply, but that was a great question.
And Elizabeth has a question. What's the price of out-of-state tuition for parents that didn't study high school in the US?
Yes, so it is, I believe it's $387 per credit hour instead of the 102. So per credit would be $387.
All right. And do you offer GED classes?
We do not at SCF. We do not have GED classes, but I do know that MTC does. So that would be where you want to start with GED classes.
All right. And is it okay if, could you put your contact information in the chat so everyone knows where to reach you if they have more questions?
Yep, I'll put my email and then also a texting number that you can either call or text if you have any questions.
Okay, great. I believe our interpretation, something happened with that. Oh no. So anyways, Terry, if you would like to start your presentation, start sharing your screen. Thank you so much, Liz, for taking the time out of your day to come present with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and as a former SCF student, it was nice to hear it presented again. It was wonderful. I was able to go to USF after figuring out what I wanted to do. So thank you for being a great institution in Bradenton.
Well, thank you. I always love to hear from alumni, so it's great. And like, yep, you can start here, and especially if you don't know what you want to do, we'll kind of help you figure it out before you transfer on.
It's a lot less expensive as well.
Yes.
Terry?
Okay. Hi, this is Terri Parrish. I work at Manatee Technical College, and I first of all want to say thank you for being invited. And SCF and us work very closely with the articulation agreement, so I'm thankful, Liz, that you mentioned that. And at this time, I want to show a video and some slides, and maybe afterwards I can go into a little bit more detail, and if you have any questions. This is my first time putting a slide in, so I hope I do it well. If not, bear with me. Like I said, bear with me.
Oh, no. We're all very familiar with technical problems, especially these days. Don't worry about that. If you'd like, go ahead and in the upper left-hand corner, you see the save icon and the two arrows. Click the weird icon next to the redo arrow in the far upper left-hand corner.
Okay.
It's in the orange
But
section.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get her. This is Dr. Vyans. She's the director, and it shows a little bit about the things that we offer in a school. It also shows things in action, and I really wanted to share. And Jerry, I don't know what I'm doing wrong
Oh, you're
here.
trying to share the video, correct?
Okay.
So again, in the upper left-hand corner in the orange section, if you see the
Okay. Upper left. Hold on.
no,
Let me put. Okay.
So yeah, you definitely make sure you center that video on the white section of the slide real quick.
It's not going through. Hold on.
Don't you love computers?
Let me go to the next slide, and maybe I can come back to this one. I really like this one because
I know how to get back to it.
You do?
So,
So leave it alone and you do it all?
I wish I could click your screen, but if you see in the far upper left-hand corner, you'll see a button that's pointing to the left in the orange section of your screen.
Now, to the parents that are watching this is something that you're going to have the challenge when you go back to school. And the wonderful thing is that you can make the mistake and can always be corrected. But if you don't go back to school, if you don't try, that will never happen. So we have to give it a try. We have to make that effort there.
Absolutely. So go ahead and move your mouse into the orange section of PowerPoint in the far upper left-hand corner. You'll see like an old floppy disk icon if you move your mouse to the far left.
Something happened. I'm going to just go on to the next one, and I'm not being successful in this. Hold on.
Okay. And Alex, if you can hear me on the back end, send me her slides and maybe I can help her at the end.
Now on this slide, I'm introducing myself, and I wanted the parents to be able to read it. On some of them it's just Spanish and the other ones are English. And the one thing I wanted to say at the very beginning is that Manatee Technical College does welcome all the students, and doesn't matter the age. Of course, they do have to be 16 because we cannot get in the middle of the K to 12. And we do look forward for students that have taken the GED or have a high school diploma. We do offer FAFSA to all the students that qualify for it. And we also have the DACA scholarship. The DACA scholarship is something that a student would apply on the financial aid. And if they do not qualify, which we know they would not, they would get a scholarship given to them, helping them towards the tuition. I'm not sure exactly what is the amount or anything like that, but we do encourage students to apply if they would like. And that's the only scholarship that I know and I'm aware of it. I'm not sure if Suncoast might be able to help them because they do have permission to work, but that's something that they might be able to look forward to, at least go and ask questions. If the parents would like to come in and meet with us, and we're not able to do any tours at this time because of COVID, but we would love to talk to them and show them in a video of what the classes could be like. And our classes are not big. We have some classes that have less than 10, but most of the big ones like automotive, welding, we have up to 15 to 30 students, but we would have three teachers on the bigger classes. So this is just telling you a little bit about what we do in there in the FAFSA, and being able to help the parents and students apply to our schools. It tells you a little bit about the hours, the dual enrollment. The dual enrollment, we encourage all the students to be able to come and dual enrollment with certain classes. Not all classes are available to them. We have the full-time dual enrollment. So let's say a full-time 11th or 12th grader comes into the computer system information technology. That 12th grader or 11th grader would be finishing that program in that year. Will be getting their certifications and their certificate. The second year, let's say like they do this in the 11th, on the 12th grade, they could come back and do Applied Cyber. And Applied Cyber is less than a year program that they also be able to get the certification and the certificate. Both of them combined because of the articulation agreement that we do have with MTF, that they can go over there and be able to get the credits and pursue the higher education. So we do, and then the other schedule that we have is the 8 to 11, and that's Monday through Friday, and that is a part-time, and it's a part-time basis, and it will take them double the time to complete it. And again, the classes are small, it's between 15 to 30 students the most. This is a little bit explaining on the dual enrollment. It tells you about the 11 and 12 graders coming to us, and there it is in English and Spanish. It's basically a little bit of what I have said, and we do require for them to have a GPA of 2.0 in order for them to be admitted into our classes. And the programs that we offer the students for dual enrollment, as you can see, is right here at the main campus. We also have some at the East Campus. Accounting, administrative, advanced manufacturing, the automotive collision, the baking and pastry, the auto mechanics, the building trades, carpentry, digital design. The CNC machinist is an excellent program to go into as well. Digital photography and drafting and machining. We do not offer welding. We do not offer certain programs to the dual enrollment at this time. Now, for adult students, for the parents that do not speak English, we do offer ESOL. We also offer the GED. And we have some ABE classes, which is the adult basic education classes, if they wanted to pursue it, but we don't offer a lot. We concentrate more on the ESOL and the GED. We have the ESOL classes at the West Campus by Bayshore, and they have different hours. They do have online classes right now, and also the GED. In the main campus, we offer some ESOL classes and some GED classes. Mainly in our campus, main campus, we offer all the testing. So when they are ready to do the GED testing, they'll be coming to us to be able to take the test there. It tells you the fees is $45 for the classes, and it's not that expensive. And for the ESOL classes, they do not ask for any legal status. They do have to have an ID from their country and in order to be in class, but they do not ask anything of legal status at this time for the ESOL or the adults or the high school students at all. Now, the next one I'm going to show you, and I hope at least this one might work, a little bit about the East Campus with the firemen, and we have the culinary arts, and we have the pharmacists.
So Terri, before you click any of those videos, go into in the far upper left-hand corner.
Can I hear you?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, go into the where it says, you see the menu options at the top, see where it's at home, click slideshow. It's right underneath the title in the orange section. If you move your mouse,
slides?
yeah, it says slideshow. If you go up and then to the left, I can see your mouse. If you go up and to the left in the orange section.
I'm sorry, Jerry, but I do not.
It may be hidden by the toolbar. But if you don't stop sharing screen. If you go into the far upper left-hand corner, you can see the save icon, the arrow that says go back, and then the slideshow button. Do you see the orange toolbar at the top? There you go. Yeah. Oh, right there. Yes, click that. Click it. And when you do that, just keep scrolling through, keep clicking through all the way to the end. It'll take us all the way back through your slides. So click that several times.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, the arrow that says there, or just anywhere on the screen as well. No, not that one. Well, there you go. Now you can select, oh, never mind. If you wanted to, there you go. You can go ahead and click that button. It'll take you through the slides. Or should. There you go. Now click that one. Yeah, click it several times until it takes you to the last slide. From there, you can choose which video to watch by clicking it. There you go. And then I think you click it once or twice, and then it should play. And if not, then there's just an issue on the back end in the slideshow.
I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. Technology is just it's at times a blessing and a curse. So is this video happen to be on YouTube?
Yeah, yes.
All right, let me see if I can find it then. And then maybe I can share my screen and we can share it with the audience that way. Do you know the title of the video?
It's if you go back, if you go to our website, they're right there.
Okay, so I'll go to MTC.
Well, that's happening, Terry. We have a question.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Wow, technology is just really not working this morning, but thank you everyone for your patience. Terry, do you offer dual enrollment classes in all the high schools?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Now, some high school, like let me say MSA, they have a different schedule than the other high schools. So it's a little bit difficult, but I do understand that their counselors are working with their students so that they will be allowed to come to us. But the dual enrollment is to all the schools as long as they are able to go by our schedule.
All right.
They should take advantage of the dual enrollment because especially if they're on DACA and if I may say, undocumented, they don't pay for anything, it's free. And sometimes they can even get ahead of themselves because like administrative and accounting, it's almost 19 credits that they take to SEF if they do pursue it. But mainly they get the certifications and the certificate where they can go and start working. And God forbid, let's say they go back to their country, they go back with something that is from here that is really, they would probably get paid more being bilingual and have the studies here in their countries. So I try to encourage them because it doesn't cost them anything.
Right.
And they don't pay for tuition or anything like that.
Okay.
And some of the students, when they start as a senior dual enrollment and they become adults, whatever is left to complete the program, that's what they will be paying on. And they just have to show that proof of Florida residency of the parents for 1 year, but we work with them on that and try to see what documents they could submit. And but it's a good opportunity for the student to come and take advantage of it. We had the building constructions, welding. I mean, the welding student, if they love doing that as an adult, they get paid. Some of them, they start at 17 all the way up to $30 an hour. So it's a good opportunity. And I wish more parents will encourage their children to come to us because again, it's a good opportunity.
I agree. I think our system stresses too much the four-year university track. I think there's a lot of great opportunities out there if folks look close to home. I was able to find the video from the start of your slide, so I'm going to share my screen now.
Okay.
And we'll watch it this way. Let me know if you can't hear it.
Manatee Technical College offers a great opportunity to help solve the challenges being faced by young persons and other adults in Manatee and Sarasota counties, and the problems of companies looking to hire graduates.
The biggest benefit of attending MTC is that you can get skills licensure certification in less than a year that will give you close to a 90% job placement rate in an area that you're interested in. We can make that happen.
If you're thinking about going to MTC, it's a great choice. The classes are amazing, the teachers are great, and the facility is awesome. Getting a job, I thought was going to be very difficult when I left MTC, but I actually got my job before I even graduated. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd have to give my education at MTC a 10 because my teacher there was amazing. He taught me so much more than just what I needed to learn for the class. I learned a lot of life lessons there too.
We feel like this is an opportunity for everybody to get employability skills, to get certification or licensure, to improve their wages, and to improve their life overall.
Since 1963, Manatee Technical College has been the smart choice for students on the Sun Coast.
We have over 52 programs.
At the West Campus, we have adult basic education, GED, and English for speakers of other languages.
We have courses at our East Campus in healthcare and in the police academy and fire academy, medical, dental. So lots of those kinds of courses are at the East Campus. And at the main campus, we have construction services. We have so many programs that wrap around there: electrical, electronics, major appliance, carpentry, the building construction trades. So there's a number of programs that get involved in that industry. We have cosmetology, which is aesthetics, barbering, hair and nails, all kinds of things if they're interested in that type of industry. Upstairs, we have our business programs, things that include everything from law and medical to business programs with technology, networking, all kinds of computer design with web design. We have video production courses. And then we also have on the other side of our campus, we have an automotive, the collision, we have the service technology, there's welding, there's boat service.
At Manatee Technical College, over 90% of our students find a job in their career field after they complete their program.
So far in 3 years that I've been teaching this program, 100% of my students have been employed in the field. So we're 100% compliant right now with jobs.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if you're one of those students out there on the fence deciding whether or not you're going to go to a 4-year school or go to a 2-year school or come here to MTC and have a career in a year, there's no doubt in my mind where you should be. You should be here at MTC because, you know, if you can have a career in a year, honestly, this is the place to be. Make a smart choice. Come to MTC.
If you're a young person who is looking for a career and not sure what to do, I would strongly suggest you contact Manatee Technical College. Make the smart choice. Talk to a career counselor. See what your opportunities are. Come and see what you can accomplish in less than a year and find a job that becomes a great career.
Jerry, thank you for the rescue.
That's what they pay me the big bucks for.
Thank you.
But no worries at all. Thank you. Go ahead, take it away.
Me han pedido que trate de volver a decir ciertas cosas que se habló y aparentemente la señorita tiene problemas con la computadora. Una de las cosas que estaba diciendo que los estudiantes que están en la secundaria deben aprovechar venir a Manatee Technical College por los programas que tenemos. No pagan nada si vienen como dual enrollment, o sea, con la secundaria, y no pagan por la matrícula, no pagan por nada de ello, y toman una carrera. El horario que tenemos es horario de todo tiempo, que es de lunes a viernes, de 8 a 3, y otro horario es medio tiempo, de 8 a 11. Es casi todos los programas que vienen medio tiempo les demoran 2 años, y es una buena oportunidad. Si digamos que venga un niño o una niña de 11 grado, digamos que tome la computación, o sea, la reparación de computadoras, ese programa es aproximadamente a un high school student le demora 1 año. Ese niño del 11º grado se estaría graduando de esa carrera con la certificación y el certificado. Qué buena oportunidad. No pagó por nada de ello. El segundo año, si es que todavía puede y tenga pendiente que la educación secundaria es número 1. Si eso pasa algo ahí, no hay un futuro adelante, un futuro mejor, digamos, porque en todo trabajo hoy en día piden la graduación de high school. So eso quiero enfocar que es muy importante que todos los jóvenes que están en la escuela lo tengan. Pero digamos que en el segundo año regresa con nosotros y toma seguridad de, I'm not sure how you say apply cybersecurity. Pero es otro programa que es más en la seguridad de las renas que cuidan más las líneas y eso. Es un programa pequeño, pero otra vez, recibe la certificación, recibe el certificado y lleva todos esos créditos si es que quiere ir a SCF, porque tenemos un acuerdo mutual donde dan más créditos por los estudiantes que estudiaron en nuestra escuela. Entonces es un acuerdo que ellos y yo tenemos, que ellos y la escuela nuestra tiene. Entonces ahí nomás está ganando mucho más en los créditos y en el futuro de su hijo o hija, o usted padre. Otra es que si tiene DACA, el estudiante puede también venir así igual que los demás. Cuando se gradúe y viene como adulto, La persona de DACA va a aplicar para ayuda financiera del gobierno, que se llama FASA, y si fuera de calificar, lo que hacen es, y cuando digo calificar, me refiero a la beca, porque no califican para la ayuda. Pueden recibir una ayuda hacia la matrícula para empezar en el programa. Eso es algo que usted estaría hablando con otra señora en la escuela o una señorita que le daría más detalles como, pero mayoría, diría un 90%, reciben una clase de ayuda para que puedan continuar. Y si Dios no permite y digamos que no pasa nada con la DACA o no tienen los documentos y nos toca regresar a nuestro país, regresa con un papel de educación de los Estados Unidos. Y en nuestros países eso tiene bastante valor, que la pone en un diferente trabajo. Pero que Dios no permite y pase eso. Ustedes padres, ustedes son el ejemplo que tienen que enseñar a nuestros hijos. Si usted no ha estudiado o está estudiando o no ha estudiado pero está trabajando, tiene la noche libre, dése un tiempo y regrese a la escuela, porque recuerde, el ejemplo es usted. Entonces, y nunca es tarde, pero regrese, permita que su hijo hasta le ayude con la tarea, lo que sea, pero sí tenemos carreras en la noche para personas que trabajan durante el día. Entonces, es algo muy, muy importante y pido que los padres se den cuenta que estamos aquí para ayudar, trabajar juntos a que ustedes y sus hijos mejoren. La escuela de Manatee Technical College es excelente en el sentido de todo manual. No hay nada académico. Si toma contabilidad, todo ese contabilidad es una clase. No son diferentes clases. Soldadura, mecánica, igual, es una clase. No tenemos lo académico porque estamos enseñando lo manual para que usted pueda ir a trabajar con los certificados y la certificación. Para poder comunicarse con nosotros, el teléfono nuestro es el 941-751-7900. Si no habla inglés, en el grupito que tenemos, yo soy la única que habla español, mi extensión es 1033. Yo lo que haría es que yo no estoy responsable del programa, le ayudaría con mi compañero o compañera para poder hacer la aplicación y lo que necesite para poder ayudarles. La extensión es 1033. ¿Tienen alguna pregunta o am I missing anything that I did not translate? I don't think so. Padres, por favor, si tienen alguna pregunta, if you have any questions, let me know.
I think we do have some questions, Terry. I don't know if you had already answered them, pero para estudiantes adultos que no saben qué carrera técnica seguir, MTC ofrece alguna forma de orientación vocacional.
¿A cuál persona otra vez?
Sorry, I'll say it in English.
Estudiantes
No,
adultos.
actually you said it.
Adultos.
For the
Yes,
adult students that don't know like what technical career they want to follow, does MTC offer any other form of like vocational orientation?
We have the test that they can take and kind of give them an idea. Tenemos un examen que ustedes pueden tomar y les da una idea. But if you think about it, when a student comes in, we kind of talk to them first and see what they want to do, what is they always have wanted to do, and what are they doing now. And from talking to the student and everything, we kind of put different programs in their mind and try to show them so that they can pick the right one. Cuando hablamos con un estudiante y hablamos con el estudiante en el sentido de qué le gustaría hacer, qué es lo que soñaba hacer, y para poderles guiar en qué clase de carrera pueden tomar en la escuela, sí hay un examen. El examen se hace preguntas y contesta, pero casi siempre hablando con la persona podemos guiarlos a ciertos programas que usted puede escoger que sería mejor para usted. So after talking to a student, we are able to guide them and give them an idea what programs that they can choose from. And especially the adult student is the one that not sure if they should do what they were doing in their country or what to do. And it's better to stay within the field and do entry level because you'll be getting paid entry level. So para las personas que vienen con carreras de los países de ellos o han estudiado, es mejor que ellos se queden en la misma rama de carrera, porque si va a volver a empezar algo nuevo, va a empezar en lo bajo del salario, viendo que si usted tiene su experiencia de su país, vale, no importa dónde usted esté, vale. Todo lo que tiene que hacer es estudiar y aprender las mañas de este país para poder conseguir el trabajo. Pero si usted hace la historia de vida, va a enseñar que ya ha estado trabajando en ello, estudió más aquí y para adelante. Entonces, ese sería el consejo que le daríamos a la persona que viene sin saber realmente qué hacer. So,
Bueno, ¿sí tienes clases todo en español o solamente en inglés?
all in English.
Todo.
Yeah. And that sometimes is hard because I'll give you a good example. I have a young lady that is able to understand but cannot speak well. She wants barbering. First thing I said, okay, you can listen to the client, but how are you going to answer back? And she said, and this is what I love, because she says, as long as I learn my work, how to cut hair and what to do, I know that I will learn how to speak back to them because I like what I'm going to be learning. Tengo una estudiante que quiere tomar barbería, entiende el inglés, pero no lo habla. Y yo le digo, vas a tomar barbería, vas a poder cortarle, vas a poder oír lo que te dice la persona, pero ¿cómo le vas a contestar si no hablas inglés? Ella habla, pero no mucho. Entonces ella dijo, la carrera me gusta, me encanta. Y yo sé que si aprendo la carrera, yo me voy a enterar cómo voy a aprender cómo contestar en inglés porque la carrera me gusta. Me gustó lo que ella contestó porque no tiró la toalla, como yo diría, porque se va a esforzar. Y la persona que se esfuerza, gana.
Sí.
So yes, for her trying, I think she'll be ahead.
Con pasión todo es posible.
Correct.
Do you offer scholarships?
Yes. We have scholarships that they can apply, and it's in our website, the scholarships that are available. MTC scholarship, no, we don't. We have a list of things that unless they apply for FAFSA and they don't qualify, there might be some scholarships through that.
Okay.
La pregunta era si es que tenemos becas. Le dije que becas realmente de la escuela no tenemos, pero sí tenemos becas que se puede aplicar, que está en nuestra línea de internet. También tenemos scholarships para las personas que aplican para FAFSA y por A o B razón no califican, que puede hacer que puedan tener una beca también.
Other questions? Can a student study at MTC and then transfer to a university? Are the credits transferable or no?
The only place that I know that we work very closely and we have contact on each area is SCF. By DOE, all the programs that we have, they do receive college credit and they determine what credit goes. But usually it's SCF onto the university that it goes. So that's something that they will need to contact the university of choice and see if there's any credit. We have an articulation agreement with SCF, so we can tell you how many credit goes to them. La pregunta era si la persona que termina con nosotros podía ir a una universidad. Lo que yo contesté fue que nosotros tenemos un acuerdo con el Colegio Universal de SCF. Los programas que tenemos, ellos pueden ir para allá, lo toman y de ahí ir a la universidad, sí. Pero derechamente a la universidad no estoy segura porque el Departamento de Educación es el que hace esos acuerdos con las universidades y los colegios. Yo aconsejaría que la persona que está interesado en hacer eso llame a la universidad y pregunte a ellos si es que aceptarían esos créditos.
And I don't know if you answered this earlier, but MTC ofrece aliances con empresas o negocios donde graduados de su organización sin SSN pueden ser empleados.
Todos los programas que tenemos, all the programs that we have, they have a committee. And in that advisory committee, usually it's employers themselves that will be looking to hire students, or they have the connections of the other agencies that can help us hire the students. To go back into a little bit on the, a student, let's say a student is undocumented and they wanted to be placed in a job. When they go to our school, and I know if they tell me, because I don't ask, if they tell me they're undocumented, I'm gonna say you can study, but we cannot guarantee a job for you because they ask for Social Security or anything like that. That's something that is on their own. La pregunta que me hizo es si que nosotros ofrecemos alguna clase de ayuda en trabajo hacia, tenemos conexiones con las gentes de afuera. Cada programa de nosotros en la escuela tiene una mesa directiva. Esa mesa directiva casi siempre es una persona que toma trabajadores o tiene conexiones para conseguir trabajo al estudiante. La mayoría de nuestros estudiantes sí reciben trabajo, pero las personas que no tienen los documentos no podemos decir que van a tener trabajo porque no tienen lo que requiere para trabajar. Puede venir a estudiar, pero no podemos decir vas a trabajar. Eso estaría en usted.
En futuro espero mejor, pero el futuro.
At least they get the opportunity.
Does anyone else have any questions? You can raise your hand or drop it in the chat below. Anyone else? No? Jerry, any questions from Facebook?
No, not, let me double check, but last I checked, no.
All right, well, I guess we'll.
Yeah. If you don't mind, let me just say a little bit. Parents and students, take advantage of this opportunity that Unidos now is giving by the fact of bringing SCF and us to you. Whether you even have a curiosity or even you're not sure, whatever it is, take that step forward, whether you go to SCF or whether you come to MTC. Take it forward. Don't be afraid of it. I mean, all we can say is no, you can, or yes, you can. I don't think we'll say no, but it's just taking the chance. And parents, you too. Just remember that everything starts with you, whether you encourage your child or whether you encourage yourself to come back to school. But the bottom line is one of you have to take that step. And I would think my expectations would be that a parent at least will seek it out to make the son or daughter curious of what's out there. And it'd be sad if you don't take this opportunity. And I know that I'm available. If you call me, I can set up an appointment. I know Liz, and I know that people from Unidos now, I know that sometimes they come with a student to our school and question things. So, lo que me gustaría decir es la oportunidad para poder decir es, padres, muchachos, muchachas, tomen esta oportunidad que Unidos Now le está dando, aprovechen la curiosidad, tengan curiosidad en saber qué hay en el futuro para ustedes, porque no saber y no hacer nada, qué pena, cuando hay una posibilidad que ustedes puedan ir a SCF o a MTC. Pero si no la toman ese paso, no van a saber. Tal vez digamos que no pueden o tal vez que sí, pero mayoría del tiempo no creo que decimos que no. Buscamos manera cómo poder ayudar a que todos se adelanten si es que quieren. Padres, ustedes son como dije temprano, ustedes son el ejemplo, pero ustedes deben empujar y apoyar a su hija a que siquiera vaya y mire qué se ofrece, qué chances tiene en el futuro. Yo sé que Unidos Now ha venido con estudiantes a nuestra escuela y hacer preguntas y averiguar más. Manatee Technical College ofrece bastantes cosas manuales que pueden graduar y trabajar y continuar con SCF, continuar con carrera. So, por favor, empuje a sus hijos, empújense ustedes mismos a mejorar la vida. Si tienen alguna pregunta, es un placer yo poder ayudarlos y gracias otra vez por esta invitación.
Muchas gracias. Y hay una pregunta para los adultos. Si estudian en ese colegio, piden Social Security y tenemos que pagar el curso de 2 años. Sí, creo que. Terry? Oh, you're on mute or something's not right.
I think the computers are having fun with us again.
Lo siento a todos, gracias, muchas gracias por su paciencia y con todo, tenemos problemas con las computadoras, supongo que sí, pero, Terry. Okay, I think it's working now. Are you back?
Hay una pregunta que dice ahí, mi hija terminó la high school en México, ¿puede tomar algo técnico aquí? Claro que sí, pero recuerde que el inglés tiene que estar presente. So, sí, él puede, va a tener que tomar el examen de entrada, pero no es problema, con tal que tenga el entendimiento de inglés.
Veo que hay 2 personas con manos levantadas. María y Eli, si tienen unas preguntas, por favor, pon en el chat, si posible. Okay. Any other questions? What are the most popular programs at MTC?
What's the most popular program?
Yes.
Facials, welding, automotive. On the business, it would be administrative and accounting. So culinary arts, I mean, we have good numbers. I mean, the classes are always full, so I couldn't say, but facials is because it's only a 1.5-month program, and a lot of people go for that. Faciales.
Okay. Not seeing any more questions. I don't know if there's any more questions on Facebook, Jerry.
Había una pregunta que si las personas que no tienen número social pueden estudiar. No pedimos número social. Si no tienen número social, el Estado cree un número para usted. Entonces, pero tengan presente que ciertos programas que usted quiera tomar van a pedir número social si es un programa de licencia.
How long is the accounting program?
9 months.
9 months, okay. And then, okay, I think that's all the questions. Would you mind putting your contact info into the chat so people know where to reach you?
Don't worry, Terry, I already took care of that for you. I'll do it again.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Great. In that case, I think we will. ¿Cuánto tiempo es para administrador?
Para administradores son 10 meses.
10 meses, okay. All right, so I will share my screen again. Somewhere it is there. Just give me one moment, everyone. No. ¿Dónde está? Okay.
Hay una pregunta ahí que dice, y se paga en semestre. Nosotros somos un poquito diferente. En semestre es para los colegios. Nosotros pagamos por cada OCP. Un OCP es la rama en lo que va a estudiar en el programa y puede hacer que tenga, digamos, 5 ramas en el mismo programa. Entonces se paga por cada rama y tenemos una rama A, B, C. Entonces lo pagaría según el programa. Eso no paga por semestre. Puede ser por 3 meses, como puede ser por 4 meses. Es diferente que el colegio.
Okay. Anything else?
Gracias otra vez por la invitación.
Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Okay, so, well, gotta go back. Thank you everyone for attending today. Thank you to our wonderful speakers for being here and explaining your programs and your schools. Hopefully everyone learned a little bit more today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to them. We are going to ask you to complete this survey. Complete esta encuesta. Por favor, clic el enlace. Si posible. We have a tutoring program that we're going to offer to all the parents. And if you're interested in that, you'll have to fill out that survey so you can get exclusive access. And I'm going to try to translate that. I apologize, everyone. Spanish is not my first language, pero se interesan en un programa de tutadora para sus hijos, por favor, complete esta encuesta. Okay. So, resources to learn more, recursos para aprender más sobre nosotros. There are clubs in Sarasota and Manatee County. So clubes de Unidos Now, they are in these schools. Ellos están en estas escuelas. And of course, we have more community workshops, talleres de comunidades. The next one is going to be in March on the 27th, and that will be about 4-year universities. La próxima está en marzo, and eso va estar sobre universidades de 4 años. Entonces aprenderemos sobre colegios diferentes y the requirements para la aplicación. If you have any questions, please contact me. That's my email and my phone number. Si tiene preguntas, por favor, pregúntame. Aquí está mi correo y número. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on our website. You can keep up to date with what we've been doing. And thank you everyone for being here. Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Gracias por su paciencia con todo esta mañana. Lo agradezco mucho. Lo agradecemos mucho. And once again, thank you to the Barancik Foundation for all of your continued support. This wouldn't be possible without you. I hope everyone has a good rest of your day and a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, cuídate, and gracias por todo. Adiós.